Is that possible though?
Yeah, it is. So, and the tech.
Do you really think that that's possible? Like, how do we?
Yeah.
Without the government putting money into electric cars, without
Yeah.
changing ships into and having electric planes and all that type of stuff, that's where a lot of fossil fuels coming from, burning petrol.
Yeah.
How do you change that?
Well,
particularly, I know with Extinction Rebellion, when you have a target of 0 by 2025.
Yeah. And if you had a government that was really committed to it, that's easily doable, I reckon. This is just my opinion. I think that we could do it quicker than that. But, first of all, we need to shift the political conversation first. So
what do you do with people's jobs who are in coal? Now, in saying that, I think that at some point in time, in a lot of jobs, too bad, the world's moved on.
That's right.
But in 5 years between now and 2025, what do you do with the unemployment in Australia?
All of the environmental groups, and including Extinction Rebellion, have said that we need to have a just transition for people in the coal industry. So, we need to invest in their future. And one of the obvious things that we could be doing is we could be doing conservation work in these areas. So a lot of coal mines are in the centre of Australia, or inland anyway, and a lot of those areas could have federal funding to rehabilitate areas that where there's wildlife, where there's really serious extinction threats. So, and that's a big thing with Extinction Rebellion, is that we're facing the 6th mass extinction. So in the past on planet Earth, a meteor has hit and wiped out much of the life. Human activity now is causing a lot of extinctions. And in Australia, it's a really big concern with a lot of species that are, and their habitats that are, and other plants and animals that might be dependent on a single species, losing those species. What was your question?
With the miners, so you put those people to work, but who funds that? The federal government. But where does the money come from that? If they don't have money coming in from the coal tax, all that type of stuff, where does the money come from?
That's such a good question. I'm glad you asked that question, because why the fuck in Australia are we so dependent on mining and so dependent on immigration? The two big industries we've got here is property, property development, and mining. Why don't we have cutting edge new industries that the government could help to encourage, and the federal government's not doing that because the coal industry doesn't want it to. So invest in new technologies, new industries. We've got so many advantages in this country. We've got heaps of lithium. So I think we're the best. We've got the most lithium that can be mined in any country. So there's some in South America as well and other places. But so we've got natural advantages. We've got advantages that it's a really sunny country. And so we can produce hydrogen. We can stick it in a ship and we can send it off to countries like China or Japan or Europe that don't have some of the advantages that they don't have the sun, or it's colder.
with the solar technology, all of that is built out of aluminium, I assume, and even with lithium, you have to get those out of the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying.
It causes pollution too.
Yes.
So we've got to be sustainable. So we might dig a dirty, great big hole, but if as a country we're reforesting Australia, I think that's acceptable. We do have some needs, and I think we're going to have to burn coal for a bit longer. It's going to be a while because hydrogen technology is new, and it's going to take perhaps decades to get hydrogen to really take over from coal. And I don't have a problem with it. Look, what I want to do is I want to make sure the Great Barrier Reef is okay. And, David Attenborough says that, we're in danger of losing the reef. We'll lose it if it goes to 2 degrees.
And there's science on all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just listen to scientists. I watch docos, and I listen to what they have to say, and